Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the GQ Jedi. If you're not already subscribed to me, blast the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any valuable Star Wars content. Today I am back with another unboxing. I have secured a coveted Last 17 Power of the Force action figure, mint on card as they call them, and I can't wait to open this beautiful little Kenner Star Wars action figure up. It's something that I've been wanting to get for a while. My MOC collection is kind of lacking. I'm predominantly a loose collector, but I'm looking to change that. And today brings me one step closer to fulfilling my destiny. So let's see what I've got. Guys, I'm very excited to get into this box. This isn't my typical fare. Normally I've got loose figures. I'm opening up custom figures from Steve, or I'm getting some Stan Solo goodies or something of that nature. But today, we've got some old school, classic, vintage Kenner Star Wars, straight from the factory. Well, we went back in time to get this because this is from the factory. This is a special one. I don't have very many of these in my collection, and I wanted to change that. Saw this being offered up for sale on Instagram, actually, from a fella that I've actually done business with before, and couldn't say no, man. I couldn't say no. The price was right, and I'm always looking to try to add to my my collection in some capacity. And so today, like I said, today's a special day. I'm kind of tongue-tied right now, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm trying not to slice my finger open as I cut through this tape here, but I've got that jittery thing going again. You guys know how I do, and so today, like I said, it's just a special day for me. Very rare that I get to open something like this. Something that I always tell you guys is don't sleep on Kenner. When you see something it's too good to pass up, well, you don't pass up. You got to get on it. And so the getting was good, and so here I am doing the getting. Oh man, I'm super excited, guys. I'm super excited about this. This is just this truly is Christmas right now, boys and girls. This truly is Christmas for me. Sorry if I'm bumping the camera in any way. I am, oh God. All right, guys. I have a special place in my heart for this particular action figure, this family of action figures, shall we say. And I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I do love them. And like I said, the price was great, and I could not say no, and had to do it. I had to do it, man. Had to get me a beautiful MOC. That's right, guys. Woo! Ramba. And from the looks of things, he came in good condition. This was well packed. Take note, guys, if you're going to ship an MOC action figure, make sure that you pack the bubble. These bubbles are very fragile. They do tend to, they can have the capacity to lift off and break away from the card back during shipping. So what a trusted seller will do is they will pack the bubble in some fashion, and this happens to come with this case. So I'm all set right there. I don't need to get another acrylic case for this thing, which is beautiful. But if it doesn't have this case, you put it in something, and make sure that the bubble is packaged, or packed around the bubble. It's a very, it's a really important thing to do when getting, when you're about to sell a figure. Make sure you do this. If you're going to sell an MOC to somebody, another collector, or just anybody, they will appreciate it, and you will probably have a return business, return customer if you have more of these and you want to sell in the future. Pack the bubble. Make sure it's supported. I'm very pleased to see that this is the case with this one. And like I said, I've purchased from this man before. Thank you, Scott. You are a boss. Appreciate you packaging. I can't. Every time, guys. Every time. Can't talk. Seems like I just can't ever talk. I want to take this out, so I want to inspect everything. But yeah, man, this is how it's done, guys. You pack the hell out of this bubble. Pack the hell out of this bubble. Make sure it's all good. So take note. Very old, this card. Woo. 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 And these MOC, or these, well, it is an MOC case. These things are very important to have if you're going to have, carded figures in your collection. I highly recommend getting something like this to protect your card backs, your figures. Really do recommend that. Let's investigate Ramba here. Interesting. This is the Power of the Force. Power of the Force Ewok. Still has the original price tag on it from what looks like Thrifty. Look at that. Was $3.99, then it looks like it got marked down to $1.99. Dang. Super cool to have the history. Yeah, this figure, man, this is an old one. This is an old one, man. I mean, they're all old, but it's just so cool to have, like I said, have another card back. I love the Ewoks, guys. I absolutely love the Ewoks. A lot of people hate them. I don't. I got nothing but love for them, and I just do, man. I really do. I feel like they're just, they're cool action figures, man. I like the characters. I grew up around the Return of the Jedi time frame, so these guys kind of hit the soft spot for me. Let's look at this card. So of course it does come with the coin, the old Power of the Force coin, kind of a gimmick Kenner put together for us, trying to incite kids, kind of instigate, us wanting to buy. Ooh, put a shiny coin in there, so we'd want to, get the figure. I don't really collect the coins outside of the figures. They're loose. I have a couple in my collection that are loose, but I don't really seek them out. Yeah, this card back does have, if you guys can see, it does have a little bit of wear. There's what's called veining. This is called veining. A little bit of that. It is punched, so this ticket has been punched. This has seen a shelf, as evident by the wear that's on there. The other major thing that's on this is this bubble has a slight ding in the top of it. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. So there is a slight ding, but it's not super noticeable. And there's a little bit of wear in the corner here. But other than that, this card it's pretty cherry pie. And of course, the bubble itself has some yellowing. This is something you'll see a lot of on the Return of the Jedi card backs. The bubble will be, yellowed on like a Gamorrean guard or, a Weequay, for instance. And, it does happen. It can happen with all all the bubbles on all the old Kenner figures. But, yeah, that doesn't really bother me too much, and partly because this is already yellow, so it kind of just blends in. So I'm not too beat up about that. And of course, we got the Collect All 92 list on the back here. And there's our guy, Ramba. Yes, guys, this is Ramba. Sorry if I didn't say that already, or maybe I did. I don't know. Time's kind of standing still for me or going backwards. I'm not sure. Brain is just kind of in this weird spot because I can't believe I'm holding a 85 this bad boy is, I believe. Excuse me, this is punched at 84, so it says 1984 on the card back here. Sometimes they say that, and I do believe they could still be released in 85. I'd have to do some digging, but either way, this is a mid 80s action figure, guys. And like I said, I only have a couple in my collection. I don't have any Ewoks. This is the first. And yeah, like I said, I love the Ewoks, man. I really do. And when I saw this for sale, it was a good price. Had to jump on it. Had to jump on it. And yes, of course, at some point, maybe some upgrading will happen. You know, if I find even a better Ramba with a slightly less yellowed bubble, and you know, no veining, and perhaps even unpunched with the tabs still intact. Yeah, I'd potentially sell that, or sell this one rather, and you know, get the upgrade. And that's what you do with Kenner, man. You maybe don't always get the cherry pie one you're looking for. Get one while you can, and then you can always upgrade it down the road when you find a better example. But this is a pretty decent one. Not too upset about it. And yeah, just super stoked, man. Like super stoked. Like I said, I love the Ewoks. And I have a couple sets in my collection of loose Ewoks. I have one for the run, the full complete run. And then I have one a full complete set of Ewoks with weapons and everything that occupies my Ewok battle wagon. And then I have a second set that's just missing the bow for Warwick, and that is on top of my populating my village. But like I said, I don't have any carded Ewoks, so this is the first one in the collection, and this is yet another MOC added to my collection. So super stoked. Not gonna lie, that veining kind of bothers me a little bit seeing at it, but you can kind of only tell in the light certain ways. But of course, I knew this when I got it. You know, the seller was very upfront about everything. I saw good photos. They made sure that I knew exactly what I was getting. So when I pulled the trigger on this, I wasn't, you know, seeing an orange and getting an apple. You know, I knew exactly what I was buying. And like I said, the price was right. Like a loose Ramba nowadays is like, you know, it's like over $160 loose. Maybe that figures even, maybe that amount is a lot higher than that. I haven't priced loose action figures in a long time because I don't need any. I have them all. But this price that I got this for was very reasonable considering the prices on loose Power of the Force figures right now. So and ironically, I'm going to tell you guys something. Ironically, this seller also had a Warwick for sale that had a much nicer card. It's basically in mint condition. The bubble was crystal clear. Didn't have any yellowing whatsoever, you know. And I missed it. I took too long, you know, reaching out to the seller, and somebody swooped in underneath me and you know, got it. So I completely missed getting the Warwick figure. And so I was super bummed about that. And like I said, it was a nicer condition than this one. And I was kind of butthurt about it, I'm not going to lie, because Warwick's, he's my jam. That's next to Wicked, he's my favorite Ewok. But the seller listed this one for sale as well. And then I saw it and I was like, you know what? I got to turn this rainy day into a, you know, into a sunny day. So had to get that old school, you know, Toys R Us feeling back, and still, you know, wanted to get an MOC that day. And so I pulled the trigger on this one. I was like, you know what? It's got a little bit of wear, but the price is right. Can't say no. So here we are, boys and girls. Ramba, MOC, all original Kenner. Holding history in my hand. Just amazing. Just amazing. Now, when I was a kid, you know, I would have seen and probably did see this particular action figure on the shelves. Power of the Force and Return of the Jedi was what I grew up around. That's kind of when I was born, is when these figures were out. So I absolutely probably saw this figure, probably even picked it up off the shelf. And so that's kind of why it's also special to me, because it's, you know, like I said, of my time. I didn't grow up with the original Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back figures on the shelf. Everything I saw mostly had, you know, Return of the Jedi on the card back, or Power of the Force. So this literally does bring me back to my childhood, seeing this type of card back. This is just awesome. I've already got a spot picked out for this guy in my collection, in one of my cases, one of my curios that you guys have seen in the tour videos. So I'm going to pop Ramba back in his little acrylic carbonite, as I call it, and we'll display him. We'll get him displayed. We'll get him settled into his new home. And one other thing I want to point out, so cool about these card backs, is the checklist. I did mention it earlier, collect all 92. I did point him out, but this was the other big deal. Like this checklist, you got to see every figure. I mean, this is literally, this is what Kenner put out, so you got to see everything. And a lot of kids back in the day would put X's on the figures they already had. So if it was back in the day and I just gotten this figure, it's a possibility that I would have put an X on that. So again, to get a card back that doesn't have any markings on it, still has the figure intact, it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is a mint figure inside. I mean, he's mint. This figure has never seen the light of day, and that's what makes him special, is he literally came from the Kenner factory, got put on a shelf, on a peg, and there he sat until somebody scooped him up. And who knows whose hands he's been in. Who knows how many collectors have held this figure at some point. These things have been circulated and sold and resold, and so I'm seeing some little bit of wear is not an absolute surprise to me. With any of these figures, they're all old, they're all decades old, so they probably changed hands a couple times, so it's not a shock, but still pretty damn impressive to get a figure that looks even this good for as old as it is. Yub nub, y'all. Yub nub. Let's go put Ramba in his forever home, shall we? And there's little Ramba in the battle wagon like I was telling you guys. And here is the MOC. Had to move some stuff around in the collection, but that is the perfect spot for him. And he looks great next to the Lando that I also got a couple years back from the same seller. So it's kind of fitting. And I'm pretty pleased with this MOC, and I'm stoked to add him to my collection, and I think he looks awesome in this setup. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at Ramba. I know I'm super stoked to add him to my collection, my ever-growing MOC collection. Super fun to add another mint on card Kenner action figure. I love my loose figures, but man, oh man, do I love having one mint on card. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please drop me some comments and let me know what you thought about Ramba. I know Ewoks aren't everyone's bag, but some people do love them. And I'd love to hear from you guys what you thought about the MOC, the condition, and just the overall acquisition of said figures. So go ahead and let me know. Drop me some comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give the like button the old thumbs up to support the channel. And if you've not already done so, blast that subscribe button, hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any valuable Star Wars content. And remember, collect or collect not, there is no try.